The film opens in 1964, when Ed and Lorraine had just started investigating paranormal cases and exorcising evil spirits. Their first case is brought to them by a scared young woman named Victoria, whose father recently took his life in his antiques store and passed on his evil spirits to her. During Victoria's case, Lorraine comes in contact with a freaky mirror in her basement, which cracks upon Lorraine's touch. It imprints on the pregnant Lorraine's baby and causes her to deliver the child prematurely. Ed rushes her to the hospital, where the doctors begin her delivery. Lorraine spots a demonic entity on her room's ceiling, but she ignores it and focuses on giving birth to her daughter, whom she names Judy right away. The moment they have Judy, Ed and Lorraine stop taking on new cases and spend all their time bringing her up with love and attention. The scenes then fast forward to 1986 in a small Pennsylvania town, where we see the Smurl family happily marrying off their eldest daughter Heather. The scenes rewind a little and we are shown a time when the Smurls moved into a new home, which gave off dark vibes. However, this goes unnoticed by the family, which consists of grandparents Jack and Janet and their 4 daughters. On their first day, they celebrate Heather's birthday. Her grandparents give her something huge and bulky. Upon unwrapping the gift, she gasps to see the freaky mirror that Lorraine had once come in contact with. Not knowing its past, the grandparents boast about their purchase and promise to fix the crack in the mirror later, as they wanted to gift the original thing to Heather. Paranormal activities begin to take place right away as the candles on the birthday cake get blown out before Heather does. On top of that, their ceiling unexpectedly falls over them and injures Heather. Before the plot progresses, the audience is shown a disclaimer stating that the story is true. It also claims that the demonic entity that Ed and Lorraine faced in this case left them devastated and ended their decades-long thriving career. Back to the story, we finally see Lorraine and Ed, who now teach paranormal phenomena to university students. However, their students don't take any interest in their subject and call them the Ghostbusters. Later that day, Judy, who is an adult now, introduces her boyfriend, Tony, to her parents on a dinner date, where Ed and Lorraine learn that Tony used to be a cop. While the family keeps the conversation light, Lorraine senses the presence of someone near their table. She simultaneously notes Judy panicking and chanting under her breath the lullaby that Lorraine had taught her to sing whenever she feels afraid. The scenes swing back to the Smurl family, in which the paranormal activities continue to take place. The demonic entity deliberately makes Janet feel its presence by pulling her landline phone's cable. Janet thinks that it's her twin daughters messing with her, but she gets spooked out to hear them playing in another room. Likewise, the twins witness their playdoll crawling on its own. It suddenly starts levitating, prompting the daughters to look in the freaky mirror. The mirror shows them the reflection of an old hag with a huge smile plastered on their face, holding the playdoll. The twins scream at the top of their lungs and immediately share this story at the table when Jack returns home from work. After dinner, Dawn plants an idea in Heather's head to throw away the mirror in the trash since the trash pickers are coming tomorrow. The two sisters join hands and toss the mirror outside in the middle of the night. Things go according to their plan when the trash pickers take away the mirror the next morning, along with the trash. However, this brings bad luck and misfortune to their family. Dawn starts to choke on her cereal all of a sudden. The choking gets so severe that she starts spitting blood in no time. The blood reveals a shard of glass, which causes the entire family to panic. The scenes swing back to Ed's side, in which we see him getting scolded by his general physician, who doesn't want Ed to have another heart attack. The same day, Ed hosts his birthday party at his house and cherishes some good times with Lorraine. Judy shows up with her nervous boyfriend, who desperately wants her parents to approve of him. When they arrive at the party, Judy introduces Tony to Father Gordon, a former work partner of Lorraine and Ed. Next, Judy encourages Tony to mingle with her parents' associates, only to check her childhood room alone. There, she starts seeing the Annabelle doll sitting on her rocking chair. Frightened, Judy starts repeating the lullaby Lorraine had taught her, which drives Annabelle away. Tony also arrives and comforts her, which makes her feel better. Once he leaves, Lorraine approaches Judy and worriedly asks her about the things she's been seeing lately. Judy assures them that she can handle the supernatural occurrences on her own and leaves the room. Tony continues hanging out with the parents. He even shows them the ring he is planning to propose to Judy with. Lorraine becomes happy and supports their relationship, whereas Ed has his doubts. Tony eventually proposes to Judy and gets a yes from her. Once the guests leave, Gordon brings to Ed and Lorraine's attention the Smurl family and requests that they investigate their case. Lorraine politely refuses the offer, claiming that they have retired from this business. On the other hand, tension grows between the members of the Smurl family. Dawn breaks into tears while convincing the family to move out, but Janet calls out her disrespectful behavior and shuts her up. Later that night, Jack is targeted by the demon. He starts to levitate in his sleep, and his neck gets choked by the demon. In the meantime, Heather carefully watches the recordings from her birthday and spots the entity that blew out the candles on her cake. Much to her dread, the same demon appears in the corner of her room and swings an axe at her, causing her to scream and shout. The commotion wakes up Janet, who becomes baffled to see her husband getting choked mid-air. Her presence drives the demon away, so Jack and Heather are saved that night. Janet finally speaks up and asks Jack to take action. This leads Jack to report to the media and arrange an interview with them outside their house. Janet makes the reporters aware that all of their family members have witnessed paranormal activity at their house, which certainly rules out the possibility of a psychological delusion. On the contrary, Judy goes out with Lorraine to test out wedding gowns. When she goes to the fitting room, she gets haunted by the old hag that the Smurl twins had witnessed. On top of that, Judy sees her alter ego in the infinity mirror, which tries to choke herself. Judy snaps out of it and screams loud enough for Lorraine to enter the room and drive away the maddening spirits. Following these bizarre incidents, Gordon visits the Smurl family and offers a helping hand in cleansing evil spirits from their house. He starts off by sprinkling holy water in their basement, but immediately sniffs out the evil spirit, which is too strong for him to take on alone. Hence he visits the nearest church to team up with its bishop, but before he can reach out to him, the demonic entity hangs the bishop by a phone cable and makes it look like a suicide case. Gordon figures it out and steps inside the bishop's office to ward off the demonic entity, but it possesses Gordon and makes him commit suicide the same way as the bishop. Meanwhile, Ed integrates Tony into their family and shows him the possessions they have kept from their past cases. When the family learns about Gordon's untimely death, they arrive at his funeral to pay their respects. There, Judy touches Gordon's coffin and sees visions of the demonic entity. Furthermore, she asks Gordon's associate about Gordon's last whereabouts and learns that he was involved with the Smurl family. Hence, she secretly travels to their town to handle their case by herself, since she finds herself somehow connected to the same demon that's haunting the Smurl family. At home, Lorraine finds Judy's necklace in the kitchen sink, which starts to fill up with blood. Lorraine takes this as a signal of threat and asks Tony to reveal Judy's whereabouts. Upon finding out where she is, they drive straight to the Smurl house and force her to return with them, but she insists on helping the family for the sake of Gordon, who died after his involvement with the Smurl family. Since Ed and Lorraine were famous in their past, the entire town gathers outside the Smurl house to see their work. At last, Ed and Lorraine decide to help the Smurls. While Judy, Tony and Ed spend some time with the Smurls, Lorraine explores the house. When she explores the basement, she sees some disturbing visions related to the evil spirits, and comes out to make Ed aware of what they're dealing with. She reveals that she saw the story of an abusive man who drove her wife to start an extramarital affair because of his abusive nature. When he found out about the affair, he brutally killed his wife and their mother before his mysterious death. Ed calculates that they have to get rid of 3 spirits, presuming that it's a piece of cake. Lorraine expresses that things aren't as simple since there's another malevolent entity controlling the spirits and orchestrating everything. On the other hand, Judy explores the attic and finds the freaky mirror rotting away in a dark corner. Upon touching it, she conjures the spirit of Annabelle, which starts to haunt Judy. Her screams are heard by her parents, who immediately arrive to save her. There, they spot the freaky mirror and finally piece together the mystery after recalling how it messed with Lorraine's pregnancy. What's strange is that Lorraine doesn't feel anyone's presence inside the mirror like she once did. Ed still believes that the mirror is the root of all evil and sits down with the family to plan a way to transfer the mirror to his museum, where he keeps the possessions that are imbued with evil. Tony is asked to drive the car, while Jack and Ed take it upon themselves to move the mirror, making sure that they wear gloves and keep the mirror covered. However, the cloth is removed from the mirror, prompting Jack to take a peek and get enchanted. He lets go of the mirror and hits the ground. Tony also encounters the old hag and crashes his car. Aside from them, Lorraine finds Judy in a corner, now possessed. This makes her realize that the demon had imprinted on Judy when she was still inside her womb, and was waiting for her all these years so he could possess her. The possessed Judy now haunts everyone in the house and causes random objects around her to break, which adds to the horror. Lorraine and Ed try to speak to Judy, but the demonic entity attacks them and hurts them badly. The attacks cause Ed to have a cardiac arrest in the middle of it all. The spirit with the axe attacks Lorraine, but Tony somehow saves her. Ed also gets a hold of himself and helps the Smurls escape. Now locked up in the house alone with Lorraine and Tony, he arranges a Bible and goes to the attic to exorcise the demon within her. They find Judy hanging herself under the demon's influence, who wants to collect her soul. Their exorcism causes the demon to return to the mirror and cause more chaos. Ed continues the exorcism, which the demon tries to prevent with his cheap theatrics. He chokes the life out of Tony and even sets the Bible on fire. The mirror shows Ed his alter ego, but Ed keeps going on and sticks the Bible to the mirror. Judy and Lorraine also place their hand on the mirror, causing it to fully crack with their good karma and annihilating the demon. In the end, both families start to live peacefully, and Judy marries Tony at last.
Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing recaps like that.